is service sales coach Joe Crisara.
Welcome to the Service MVP Podcast, the show that helps home service professionals master high-value sales, build stronger client relationships, and grow their business like never before. Join industry experts as they share real strategies that drive results. If you're ready to level up your service game, you're in the right place. Let's get started.
It's the Service MVP Podcast.
The listeners, I would be very surprised if they haven't heard of Uncle Joe Crisara at this time. For those listeners who don't know your story, can you share that aha moment that changed everything for you?
Yeah, well, there's quite a few people, the industry has churned, if you noticed that, but I was at that Pantheon conference, we didn't even have a chance, we were so busy we didn't have a chance to see each other. But one thing I did realize is that there are a lot of new people in this industry who have entered into it. Every year there's a churn, and I would say I was really surprised at how many people did not know me at all. So it was like one of those aha moments I had at the conference, honestly. So I definitely have some work to still do to get back here. That's why I'm here today, to try to get people familiar. But I did have an aha moment. I was suffering financially. I was putting my heart and soul, just like I do with Service MVP, and doing stuff for people to get started with it. But then I never really did get around to getting paid for my work, properly. I didn't know how to price the services, very similar to what you went through, Bill. And I wound up about $500,000 in debt about 5 years into the business. And then the aha moment I had, or the small big, if you will, that small thing that makes a big difference, was one of my clients. His name was Dave, and he goes, Joe, why are you always trying to save people money on your service? Why don't you just show them the most premium thing they could do first? And I'm like, Dave, nobody wants to spend any money. I was like, my mindset, Bill, was find what everybody else was charging and then charge a little bit less so I could get the job. I thought low bidder got the job was my philosophy, or sales philosophy at the time. I think a lot of us are just like, if you're the kind of person who looks for a good deal on something, that might be your philosophy too. You might have your mother in the truck, I call it. You have your family history. Our family grew up trying to save money on everything. So I thought naturally I was doing a good service to try to save people money by lowering the cost of the job. What I didn't, it was sitting right in front of me, that when you lower the cost, you also lower the quality of the job and the service that you provide too. So I didn't realize that until and they said, Joe, let me show you how to do the science of pricing. And then Dave sat down at the kitchen table. We sat there for like 3 hours as he explained it to me. He was a pharmaceutical sales manager at a big pharmaceutical company that sells medications to doctors and whole health plans to doctors and stuff like that. And he showed me, he goes, yeah, there's a science. I went to Harvard University, he told me, and he showed me that. And he actually gave me some written material on it too. And the first time I even recognized there was people study this stuff. He goes, Joe, billions of dollars are put into this studies of this stuff. He goes, so why don't you just try it? And so he sat there and we made an option sheet together. I went in my very first call, just like you mentioned, and this was a call I normally would get $150, $125. And instead of $125, I got $1,250. The next call, I had a small little problem with a pump, and I normally would have replaced a part that cost $75. I wound up replacing all 3 pumps because they're all 20 years old and they were leaking oil. And I wound up, just for the pumps and the relay and the thermostats and everything, like $3,800. And I was selling the whole boiler for like $3,200 back then. So it astounded me, honestly. I was like, I can't believe how much profit I actually made and how happy both of the clients were extremely happy. So, who knows what would have happened if it didn't work on the first 2 calls. But it did. It worked on the very first 2 I had. And for that week, it worked very well. The whole week, I wound up selling like $14,000 and just on service calls. I didn't put it. Back then I was selling furnaces and ACs for like $1,500. So to get $14,000, it was like doing 8 installs. And I just did service calls. My total material was like $2,500, and I sold $14,000, and that is what's called profit. And I didn't probably the first time I had, but when the first time you experience a profitable week is like the clouds part, Bill. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like I don't even know how deep in the hole I am, 500,000 in the hole. I said, I don't give a crap about that. I know that this is the way, this is the ring of truth. And I think just like you experienced in your story, like, wow, that is a different way of doing it. It definitely works when you try it. It works if you work it. I always tell people it works if you work it, and you're worth it. Because you're worth the price for the premium price, right? It works if you work it, but you have to feel like you're worth it for it to work. There's the mentality that it's not worth that kind of thing. And that's where you have to fight the internal. The biggest enemy we have, Bill, or the competitor, is right in the mirror, who is preventing ourselves from doing something like this. They're coming up with excuses as to why this won't work, when actually it does. So, makes sense?
Sure.
Thank you for listening and watching the Service MVP podcast. I want to give you a copy of my free book. Just click on the link below in the description, and one will be sent to you from me personally. Thank you so much for listening.